1 in 20 children who use live streaming apps have been asked to take off their clothes. According to a study by the UK's children's charity, the NSPCC, 25% of children admit to having talked to strangers on live streaming apps. 1 in 20 kids who use these apps say they've been asked by a stranger to take off their clothes. Originally called Musical.ly, TikTok claims to empower everyone to be a creator directly from their smartphones. And they are committed to building a community by encouraging users to share their passion in creative expression through their videos. So judging by their mission statement alone, you expect that TikTok, which used to be Musical.ly, is a place for your kids to stretch their creativity muscles, to work on their ability to dance and sing and create and come up with interesting ideas. Recently, they added live streaming to TikTok, and this has opened up some very interesting conversations around our children's safety on video apps like this. Just last week, YouTube was in the news because of child pornographers and child predators finding things in these videos of children to highlight for each other as being appealing to them. Even though we would consider it innocent, they considered it interesting for the wrong reasons. The same kinds of things happen on apps like TikTok. Not only is there danger of predators, but also there are lots of cases of videos that are giving instructions on hurting yourself and self-harm, suicide. There's encouragement to participate in eating disorders, things like thinspo, with young kids taking pictures of themselves with their shirts off, exposing how skinny they are with their rib cages showing, and then tagging thinspo to inspire people to be thin like them. This is the kind of stuff you find in an app in which the content is strictly user generated. Now, for some reason, this app is rated 12 plus in the app stores. I think it's because they have some very limited but available parental controls built into the app. But the reasons the app is rated 12 plus, things like mild profanity, nudity and sexuality, violence, drug use, alcohol use. These things are very mature issues, very mature things that are in this app, admittedly from the App Store listing for the app. And it's listed 12 plus anyway. Well, we know that they want ages 12 and over not to protect kids, but protect themselves from COPPA violations and other kinds of violations on collecting data from children. So we can't pretend like these app companies have our kids' safety in mind when they create their apps. Usually parental controls are put in, or even time management controls are put in a response to some sort of outcry from the danger that the app can cause. We all know that these things can be dangerous. Very few parents will say that they're completely fine with it and don't think there's a problem. But unfortunately, many parents think their hands are tied when it comes to protecting their children on these types of apps. But that's just not true. In reality, there are tools out there. Some of them are built into the apps themselves. Some of them are tools that you can buy and download and use, or tools that are even for free or built into your devices that can limit the screen time, limit the types of apps they're allowed to download. You can look at things like our uninstall list, apps we recommend you don't let your kids use until they're a certain age, and use this information to protect your children. Your hands are not tied. You're able to do something here. 25% of kids talking to strangers online is a horrifying statistic. It shows that while there are privacy settings out there, either parents aren't using them or kids are finding ways to get around them. We cannot look at these companies and say, you have to protect our children, and then not be willing to take steps ourselves to protect them. It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't work. Even if they do everything they can to give you parental controls or put something on the devices to help protect your kids, and you don't use it, you can't just keep blaming them. You have to do something to keep your kids safe online. And sometimes it just means telling them no when they ask to use an app. Earlier last week, I posted a video and an article about how I can't help you protect your kids on apps that are made for grown-ups. I think TikTok falls into that category. While it's rated 12 plus, you can see on the list of content that causes it to be rated 12 plus that it's really meant for older. I'm Michael Prince with BecauseFamily.org. familytechblog.com. I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon sponsor, James Kinnison. If you'd like to support our podcasts and our videos, you can go to patreon.com/becausefamily, and there you'll find ways that you can support us financially, and including becoming a producer of these videos and showing up in the credits and things like that. So go check that out at patreon.com/becausefamily and help us keep making content to help families protect their kids online.